Good evening, everybody, and welcome to AI Football's coverage of this evening's Premier League game between Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur. My name is Anthony Thomas, and I'm going to be guiding you through the action to us from Old Trafford tonight in the Premier League. You through the teams. First of all, each side has made one change to their games at the weekend. For Manchester United, there is no place for Cristiano Ronaldo in the starting lineup. He's dropped to the bench and he's going to be replaced by Marcus Rashford. So the full Manchester United team is David De Gea in goal, back four of Diogo Dalot, Rafael Varane, Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw. Casemiro and Fred are continuing their partnership in defensive midfield. In front of them is Bruno Fernandes. On the wings are Antony and Jadon Sancho. And as I mentioned, Marcus Rashford is going to be up front for Erik ten Hag's side this evening. Back into the action after one game out. He was an unused substitute last time. He was on the bench, but didn't feature due to illness. And for Antonio Conte's Tottenham, also one change. Ryan Sessegnon is the man to miss out. He's on the bench, and he's been replaced by Ivan Perisic. So for Tottenham, Hugo Lloris continues in goal. Back three of Christian Romero, Eric Dyer, and Ben Davis. Wing backs are Matt Doherty and Perisic. Midfield three of Rodrigo Bentancur, Yves Bissouma, and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And then up front, the incredibly dynamic partnership of Heung-min Son and Harry Kane. On the bench then for Spurs, Oliver Skipp, Davinson Sanchez, Bryan Gil, Ryan Sessegnon, Fraser Forster, Jed Spence, Clement Longley, and returning to the bench for Tottenham, Japhet Tanganga, who has picked up a knock in training recently and didn't feature for the last couple of games. And also Lucas Moura, he returns to the substitutes bench as well. For Manchester United, their bench is Victor Lindelof, Cristiano Ronaldo, Tyrell Malacia, Tom Heaton, Facundo Pellistri, Anthony Elanga, Alejandro Garnacho, and returning to their bench, Christian Eriksen and Scott McTominay. McTominay was suspended for their last fixture, the 0-0 draw with Newcastle, but Ten Hag has decided that Fred will retain his place in the lineup, so McTominay will be on the bench for this evening's fixture. No place for the youngsters Dan Iqbal or Kobbie Mainoo on the bench, and Martin Dubravka hasn't returned to the Manchester United substitutes either. One of the big misses for Spurs will be Richarlison. He's picked up a calf injury, so he will not be featuring this evening either. We are still a few minutes away from kickoff, so in the meantime, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Who is going to be victorious this evening? And please subscribe to the channel AI Football if you enjoy our commentaries and you enjoy what we're doing here on this channel. The players are now in the tunnel and they are just about to make their way out onto the pitch, led by this evening's match officials. Simon Hooper is the referee. His assistants are Ian Hussin and Adrian Holmes. The fourth official is Andy Madley. In the VAR booth back in Stockley Park, we've got Michael Oliver and his assistant Dan Robathan. The players making that long walk from the tunnel in the corner out to the centre of the pitch. Just seeing shots of Anthony, who has really made an explosive start to life in English football. Antonio Conte having a word there with Christian Eriksen. His story has obviously been well documented, Eriksen. It's a fantastic return to football after his life-threatening collapse back at Euro 2012, Euro 2020, I should say. Erik ten Hag receiving a warm applause from the faithful at the Stretford end. So Manchester United, they had a very underwhelming performance last time out, 0-0 draw with Newcastle United. Draw specialists, the Magpies this season, and United were another team that they managed to share the spoils with. So Erik ten Hag has called on his players to really try and kill the opposition tonight. He felt that they didn't take their chances out the weekend, that 0-0 draw. They had won their previous 3 in all competitions before that. Back-to-back wins against Ammonia Nicosia in the Europa League. And 2-1 win at Everton. Also recording wins over Everton recently with Tottenham. They beat them 2-0 at the weekend and are on a fairly good run themselves. A win against Eintracht Frankfurt in the Europa League. 1-0 win over Brighton recently as well. In fact, neither of these sides have lost since their big derby defeats at the start of this month. Man United going down 6-3 to Man City, and Tottenham losing 3-1 to the very impressive Arsenal side. Preparations taking place before this evening's kickoff. We will try and keep you up to date with all the other goings on around the Premier League this evening. And be interesting to see whether Harry Kane can add to his impressive scoring run. He's scored 9 goals already in the Premier League, which is in any other season would be a fantastic return. But when he's inevitably going to be compared to Erling Haaland and his incredible start, no one's really talking about the fact that Kane could already hit double figures if he scores tonight. It's still a very impressive return for the England captain. And Son Heung-min is on 96 Premier League goals. He's might have to wait a few more games to get to that century, but big targets to reach for both of the Tottenham front two in games to come. Tottenham will be kicking off. They're in their change kit of a blue shirt with black sleeves, black shorts, and bright yellow socks. Yves Bissouma will be taking kickoff. Manchester United, of course, in their traditional red shirts, white shorts, and black socks. We are underway, and Tottenham kicking off from right to left as I look at it. The ball is back with Eric Dyer, who lays it off to Christian Romero. He plays a 1-2 with Bentancur. And a rather methodical start by Spurs. Now they attack down the left wing, looking for Son, but that one's overhit, and Varane recovers, and he gives it to De Gea, who lets Luke Shaw have his first touches of the ball. Shaw plays the ball forward over halfway, but it's knocked back by Romero and out for a throw, which Shaw will take well inside the Manchester United half. They spread the ball wide. Diogo Dalot in possession now, being faced up to Ivan Perisic and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and he switches play back to Shaw. Shaw inside to Lisandro Martinez. He decides that he doesn't want to try and take on Harry Kane, so he just plays it back to De Gea instead. Bit of a heavy touch there by Dalot when he received the ball from De Gea, but no harm done. And it's only the Manchester United back four that are enjoying the possession at the moment. It's Martinez now who's laid it off to Shaw. Now he goes forward looking for Rashford, but it's cut out. And Tottenham have a chance now to come through the middle. Son with his back to goal. and plays it back, and Tottenham are regrouping again. Ball with Romero on the halfway line. Forward again to Son. Son looking for options. Spreads the ball, but unsuccessfully. He was looking for a run of Perisic, but it was well under hit there by Son. Easily cut out by Dalot. And Manchester United regain possession comfortably in their own half. Forward through the middle again. Doesn't work out for a second time. And Tottenham now have an opportunity to move the ball forward again. Kane now spreads it to Matt Doherty. Forward to Bentancur. Bentancur with the cross, it's low, easily cut out by Martinez. On a poor touch there, has given Tottenham another chance. Son on the edge of the area. Too many players around him, he gets crowded out. And Tottenham regain possession. Still well camped in the United half, but they're playing it back. It's now Eric Dyer. Oh, Højbjerg in midfield there, almost got caught out, but they recovered well, Spurs. This is nice possession on the left wing. But Perisic uses his experience and decides that playing it back to Lloris is the best option there. Lloris forward looking for Kane, slightly overhit. It's cut out by Dalot. And United in control again. Nice ball forward by Luke Shaw, and he's just about received the 1-2. Now Shaw over halfway. And poor touch there by Dyer. This could let United in. It's Fred out to Anthony on the left wing with a shot. And it's blocked. United recycle. Bruno Fernandes. Cross comes in, looking for Rashford. Headed clear. Good spell of possession this now for United. Dalot into the area. Looking for options. Can't shape for a cross. Oh, that's an awful shot. High and wide. A real fullback's effort there by Diogo Dalot. And the chance is gone. For United. 3.5 minutes gone. 0-0 between Manchester United and Tottenham. United have a good recent record against Tottenham. They've won their last 3 against them in the Premier League. Oh, and almost cut out well there by Fred. Tottenham just about survive. Højbjerg has some work to do. He gets away though from Fernandes nicely. Head up, looking for options. Decides to go back. Eric Dyer. Dyer now regular in the middle of a back 3 for Antonio Conte's Spurs. And really enjoying his run in the side. 2 goals already this season for him. Spurs over halfway, moving the ball very well. And now it's suddenly Bentancur into the area. Bentancur with a shot across goal and wide. A flash of brilliance there from Tottenham. They worked the ball really well coming through the middle. Son was involved in the attack. Bentancur received the ball back from Doherty, who was out on the wing. And into the area came Bentancur. It was not the easiest angle to shoot with, especially on the right side of the goal with his right foot. He really had to come across, and he dragged the ball a bit too far wide, but a bit of a wake-up call there needed for Manchester United. Let's see how they respond. Oh, and Fernandes has gone down there. He seems to be in a bit of pain. Offside has been given in the meantime. Not that the defender knew that. Fernandes, yeah, he was well offside from Luke Shaw's through ball. And he was, I think, just legs, a clipping of the legs there together with Romero. I think it was accidental. I'm not too sure. I don't think there was any real intent there from Romero, but no free kick to United, obviously, because of the offside. Fernandes does seem to be absolutely fine. And play resumes. And United have won themselves a throw-in inside the Tottenham half on this near side in front of the managers. And Antonio Conte there barking his instructions. And the ball is back with David De Gea. He goes short there to Varane, who was under a lot of pressure from Bissouma. But nice thread there. And now Fred, he's put it through. And a good interception there. That was needed. Oh, shot comes in. Oh! And Lloris made a real mess of that. Anthony, with the first-time effort. Lloris was out of position. There was a lovely dummy by Fernandes in the build-up, who left the ball for Fred. Fred's through ball to Rashford was half cleared. The ball fell straight to Anthony, who saw Lloris off his line. His shot went straight at Lloris, but he fumbled it when trying to recover. And the ball goes out of play, but it could have been a lot worse. The corner's been taken. Fred from the edge of the area. Fred with a great shot. And tipped over the bar this time by Lloris. Better there from the French goalkeeper. But a great shot from Fred. I don't know if it was dipping enough. It might have just been going over the bar or may have struck the crossbar had Lloris not touched it. But Lloris had to make sure, and a good palm over. It's going to be another corner. Fernandes on the near side of the outswinger. Tottenham this time a bit more aware of the men on the edge of the area. In it comes, and a header by Varane, but he was moving backwards. And over it went. I think, sorry, it was Casemiro with the header. And over it went, over the bar. Cristiano Ronaldo, you can see it on my pictures. Doesn't look too happy to be sat on the bench. But that's where he is. And United coming forward again. Another attempted through ball by Fred. That's cut out. He's back with the Brazilian again. Casemiro back to Martinez. And Martinez decides to use his goalkeeper. De Gea knocks this one long to halfway, where he tries to find Sancho, but a poor touch by him has allowed Bentancur to recover. And now Tottenham can relieve a bit of the danger that they've been under for the last couple of minutes. Here's Eric Dyer to Romero. Tottenham on that far side, the right wing as they look at it. Romero looks like he's trying to spread one. He finds Son in the middle. Son leaves it to Højbjerg, and there's space in front of him now. And he goes out wide to Perisic. Perisic attacking now down the left wing, up against Dalot. Edge of the area. Oh, he tries a dink of a cross, but it doesn't really work. He needed a bit more power on that one. But Tottenham come again. Højbjerg and Ben Davies getting forward now. Linking up with Yves Bissouma. Bissouma infield to Bentancur. Where's he going with this one? Still carrying the ball. He's well tackled there by Anthony. 50-50 ball eventually falls into Manchester United's favour, and it's brought away by Sancho and now by Fernandes. Dalot's in space on the halfway line. Back to Fernandes. Switches play to Luke Shaw on Manchester United's left-hand side. 1-2 with Sancho. Martinez now 1-2 with Shaw himself. And Tottenham are now all camped back in their own half, trying to cut out the space that Fred was trying to find earlier on, but Manchester United are still working it nicely. Fernandes recovers and switches it to Dalot. Now Anthony loves to cut in as he's doing now. Anthony again shapes the shot. Great effort! And it was curling in. Another really lovely left-footed strike by Anthony that's already becoming his trademark in the Premier League. He shaped the shot around Bentancur, and I think that one, in fact, it wasn't a save. It just glanced off the post. It's gone out for a goal kick, but Anthony making the space for himself and almost finding the corner. And Tottenham are trying to play out from the back, and Bissouma got very, very lucky there. Terrible touch by Bissouma, almost let Fred in, but Fred was adjudged to have fouled him. And Tottenham really are surviving in these early stages. Kane forced out by a combination of Martinez and Casemiro. Tottenham take the throw-in, but there were two balls on the pitch, so Simon Hooper has called them back. And Perisic is waiting to take this throw-in, which he plays. He was going to play short to Davis. He decided to change his mind, and now he goes long to Davis down the wing, and it's headed away by a couple of United players. A little bit of head tennis. Davis tries to bring the ball down, but he's got no space with Dalot for company, and Dalot hoofs one up into the air, and it just about works out for United. But they only can take it as far as Bissouma, who after that rather rash touch a second ago, plays it much more safe this time and uses Hugo Lloris. Good pressure by Rashford, forcing Lloris to play the ball. And United really are getting a lot of men around the ball and putting Tottenham under a lot of pressure, not allowing them to really play out from the back at all. This is something that United really struggled with last season, well, more than one season, and it's almost paying dividends here. Tottenham really need to be careful at the back. Eventually Eric Dyer knocks it clear, but Tottenham making life difficult for themselves. And United have won the ball back in the Tottenham half again. Fred, there, he was unlucky, and it's fallen to Harry Kane, and suddenly Tottenham could be in here. Kane plays the ball out to the left where Perisic is there. Perisic with one man to beat, gets into the area and can't do anything with it, and eventually runs out of room, and out it goes for a United goal kick. We've had 12.5 minutes of the match at Old Trafford. Still Manchester United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0, and Lisandro Martinez takes the goal kick and just plays it to De Gea, who knocks it long. Why that's necessary, I don't know, but then I'm not a footballer, so what do I know? Bissouma gets away from a couple of defenders very well, uses Davis into Son, now Kane switches it, goes wide to Matt Doherty with Shaw for company, and great defending there by Luke Shaw, but he got he took the full force of Matt Doherty's powerful cross right in the face. Oh, that's a real stinger for Luke Shaw, and he's still down. I think he'll be okay, but just taking some precautions there. The England fullback. It was a rasping effort by Doherty. It would have really stung. It's not nice to get one of those in your face. So a little bit of a stoppage in play here, and Tottenham are going to get the ball moving again with a throw on the far side, about 15 yards from the United goal line. So a good chance to do something here. In the ball goes to Bentancur. It's blocked by Fred. Fred's really been in the thick of things so far, justifying his selection, I think. Doherty takes another throw, uses Bentancur, now Bissouma. Here's Davis. Oh, he's shaping to shoot there from a good 30 yards or so. Decides against it, uses Højbjerg. Back to Dyer. Romero. Forward looking for Kane. Kane does well to protect the ball, shields it with his back to goal. Can't find Doherty though, but Bentancur can. Back to Bentancur. Doherty back, and now it's with Bissouma. I think this is Tottenham's best spell of possession in the game so far. Here's Højbjerg to Son. Wide to Ivan Perisic. Waits for the run of Davis and finds him very well. Davis at the byline, crosses it in. Can Bentancur get the header? No, it's blocked and cleared away. Bissouma tries to recycle, but Antony now in possession. Still some work to do. Uses Dalot, and eventually De Gea will clear, which he does, up to the halfway line where he's almost managed to find Marcus Rashford, but a little bit too high for him. And it's gone out of play once again. Throw in for Tottenham. Here's Perisic. Decides to go back to Lloris. We've had a fairly lively start. We've had one shot hit the post. We've had an effort from target. Both of those coming from Antony, the exciting new Brazilian acquisition for Manchester United. Those have been the best two opportunities of the game, but let's see what United can do this time. Luke Shaw, infield to Fred, 25 yards out, uses Casemiro. They're going across, and now Dalot can put the cross in. It's headed away by Dyer, very well by him. Varane recycles though, back to Dalot. And uses the Frenchman again. Biding their time Now United, that chance is gone, and Dalot can't shake off Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and has to settle for a throw-in, which he's taken infield to Fred. Fred gets away from his marker nicely, but Bentancur recovers and concedes another throw-in for United. A lot of stick Fred has got over his Manchester United career, and 17 minutes is no way to judge a player at all, but strong 17 minutes from him. He's left another one nicely there for Fernandes, who brings Luke Shaw into play on the left wing. Moving into a crossing position, Luke Shaw decides to come back inside to Fernandes. Fernandes looks up, plays it to Anthony. Anthony to Fred. Wide to Dalot. Linking up a few Manchester United players here now. 35 yards out from goal. It's back with Luke Shaw now. Jadon Sancho on the wing, up against Mac Doherty, running at him, running into the area, tries to get the cross in, it does, but it's cleared away by Dyer, back into the area, and very nicely done there by Ivan Perisic. He knew there was no danger around him, even though he was on his own 6-yard box, and just chests the ball ever so gently, perfectly into the hands of Hugo Lloris. That's one way to relieve the pressure on your team. Tottenham continue to play the ball out from the back. And Romero has to use Lloris again, who then plays a bit longer to Ben Davies, who's in plenty of space on the wing. He's over halfway. Forward he goes, and now infield to Kane. Kane with a lovely switch of play out to Matt Doherty. Good crossing chance here. Pass one, Doherty. Oh! And was he going there for the shot, or was he going for the cross there? Either way, it just went wide from Matt Doherty. Came infield into the area, and with his left foot, curled one to the opposite post. It went, I think, a couple of yards wide in the end. And Bentancur was in the area shouting for the ball, which he didn't receive. I think that might have been the better option for Doherty. Tottenham, once they do get out of trouble, they are playing the ball nicely and making things happen. Really good end-to-end game so far. It's over the top again now. Rashford, is he in behind? Marcus Rashford with a good touch, forced out wide by Højbjerg. Just a couple of yards out, Rashford. He's holding the ball up well, waiting for support now. Luke Shaw. Fernandes with a shot, blocked by Bentancur. One back by Casemiro. Now Anthony trying to get away from Perisic. Uses Varane. Anthony still going backwards, as is Varane, and eventually all the way back to David De Gea. Lovely ball over the top there, and Rashford timed his run well. But just in the time that he was bringing the ball down, the defender was able to get back and force him out wide, and he couldn't get the shot away. Good pressure again by Doherty, but no, it's too much pressure by Doherty. In fact, he's committed a foul on the far side. And Luke Shaw will take the free kick inside his own half. 20 minutes gone. We're still goalless. And you're listening to AI Football. Anthony. Fred. Lovely ball forward by Fred. Now Rashford with a shot. Great save by Lloris again. That was the biggest chance of the match. And again, it's Fred pulling the strings for Manchester United. He looked up. Bissouma wasn't putting him under enough pressure, giving Fred time to thread a lovely through ball to Rashford, who had a free chance at goal there. Right-footed shot, kept it low, but Lloris got down very well and was equal to it. Corner now for United. They go short. Rashford's on it now. Now Fred. Oh! And that could be the first booking of the game. It's Romero who committed the foul on Fred. Again, Fred, just a first-time ball over the top, and then Romero clattered into him. Fred is still down. Will be slowly getting to his feet. I think he'll be fine, but Tottenham can't deal with the Brazilian Fred at the moment. It's just his fourth start, of the season. He'll be making a few more if he continues to play. I feel like I've just been talking about Fred all evening, which I wasn't really expecting, to be honest. But he's been deserving of the phrase. So a free kick in a perfectly good position here for United. 25 yards out, central. Tottenham have made a 5-man wall. Rashford, Fernandes and Shaw are all over this one. It looks like it might be Fernandes who's going to strike it with his right foot. United are making a dummy wall in front of the Tottenham one. Here comes Fernandes over the top, and another good save by Lloris. Another one that he's had to palm over the bar. Really good effort there by Fernandes. It wasn't in the corner. Lloris didn't really have to dive for it. But another strong effort from United from distance that Lloris has had to deal with again. And now another short one from United. Rashford, edge of the box, finds space. It's deflected. It's over the bar. And out it goes for another corner for United. Peppering the Tottenham goal with shots from outside the box. It feels like it's only a matter of time before one of them goes in. Fernandes with another corner. Must be at least 4 corners, possibly 5 for United already. This one I think is going to be whipped in. In it comes now from Fernandes. Tottenham header clears it away though. Shaw recycles, goes wide to Fernandes again. Another cross, headed away by Dyer. Fred is the man back there. And he has nowhere to go other than to De Gea. De Gea well outside of his area. Plays the ball forward looking for Fernandes. It's going to fall to Jadon Sancho on the left wing. Sancho up against Bentancur. Plays one with Rashford out to Antony now. Has to use Dalot on the right wing. Dalot into the area up against Perisic. Crosses it. Shaw at the back post with a lovely volley. And whoa, what an effort that was. And once again, Hugo Lloris is called into action. Lovely volley there. Dalot from the edge of the area puts the cross into the back post, and Luke Shaw with his right foot, the first time volley, was really sweetly struck on target, and again Lloris has to palm one away for a corner. It's Rashford on that far side again to Fred, edge of the box. Fred with the volley, cleared away by Ben Davies. It's Sancho now. Fernandes to Dalot. Dalot at the byline. Another cross comes in. The back post. Antony's there trying to hook it back in, but it's a bit too difficult for him to deal with. And out it goes for a goal kick. And Tottenham can breathe another sigh of relief. So Luke Shaw getting in on the action. Just seeing a replay of that shot. Forced Lloris into another flying save. Creating opportunities are United, which will please Erik ten Hag, but what won't please him is a scoreline. 0-0. 10 attempts actually for United already. I didn't think there was that many. 10 attempts, 4 of which are on target. Tottenham have had 3 efforts on goal so far, none of which have forced David De Gea to make a save. So the French international goalkeeper much busier than his Spanish counterpart in the opening 25 minutes of this contest. Luke Shaw bringing the ball over halfway now, trying to link up with teammates. It's with Rashford now. Rashford has come much deeper. Switches it across to Dalot. Infield is Antony. Antony cutting in again. Finds Sancho on the other side. Infield to... Oh, Fernandes with another shot from the edge of the area, but this one goes over the bar. Not the worst strike you'll ever see from Fernandes, but he was given enough time, I think, there to get that one on target, and just a bit too much on it. Tottenham really are allowing United plenty of space and time on the edge of the area. 11 efforts on goal. Of course, that makes it now. And still, Spurs play out from the back. Doherty out wide, has to go back to Romero. Infield to Yves Bissouma. Fred's tangling with him. Doherty a neat ball inside to Bentancur, but he's lost it. He's lost it though because of a foul. Free kick awarded to Tottenham. And there's neat play there by Doherty. I think that chance he had earlier on, where probably he should have squared the ball rather than take the shot on. That was a mistake. But other than that, I think he's been quite lively. He's another player that's not really been featuring too often. This is just his 5th appearance in the Premier League this season. Only his 3rd start. And in the meantime, Tottenham broke into the United half, but it was dealt with, and Bruno Fernandes won the ball back after a sloppy touch. Fernandes now into Martinez. He uses De Gea to knocks it very long, looking for Rashford. It's going to bounce awkwardly. Dyer has to deal with it. He's got Fred again for company, and he does manage to shepherd it away and find Romero. Oh, and Dyer received the ball back for him, but he just put a bit too much on that one for Doherty to deal with, and it went out for a throw quite needlessly. A bit of an unforced error there by Eric Dyer. All the Tottenham players behind the ball again. And Dalot is in possession. Anthony, from a standing start, what can he do? Finds Dalot, who plays infield to Casemiro. Casemiro with a touch into Sancho. A really neat play again by United. Another shot comes in. Oh, they're all lining up to take these shots from the edge of the box. Now that one was Casemiro. Casemiro, Sancho, Shaw, Fernandes, all with some intricate passes at the edge of the box, and a driving effort from Casemiro was merely centimetres wide. A good portion of the crowd thought that was in, and this time Hugo Lloris was rooted. It is off target, so keeper shouldn't have to feel the need to deal with it, but needless to say, if that was half a yard the other way, he had no chance of stopping it. De Gea out of his goal to deal with a half-threatening through ball. And safety first from him, plays it out. And Tottenham build again. 73% possession for Manchester United in the last 10 minutes of the game. So really showed their dominance. But then still not dominating on the scoreline. Ben Davies, though, trying to do something about that. Perisic back to Højbjerg. Into Dyer. Tottenham have relied on him a fair bit in these opening minutes. Harry Kane finds Doherty. Doherty infield to Bissouma. Bissouma uses Dyer again. Perisic infield to Son. Son turns well. Tries to find Bentancur, but it's well blocked. But Tottenham come again. It's Perisic on the left. He uses Ben Davies on the overlap. Oh, Davies tries to find Kane intricately, but Casemiro was having none of that. And away come United now. Oh, a really poor touch there by Fernandes. He was trying to simple pass into Fred, but he just undercooked it a little bit. And what could have been a chance there for United disappears before it really materialises. And now it's Tottenham's turn to enjoy a good spell of possession. They've got 11 red shirts in front of them to deal with. And it's over the top by Romero, looking for Kane. Kane heads the ball on to no one in particular. It's Varane who deals with it. No Tottenham player around him. Luke Shaw to Martinez. And De Gea. Cross to Dalot. Switch of play from Luke Shaw. Now, Lisandro Martinez. Not really been called into action so far. Martinez, who's won a lot of praise after his relatively poor first couple of games. He's really grown into this United side. Here comes Luke Shaw. Uses Jadon Sancho up against Matt Doherty. Infield is Fernandes. A cross, but that one was well read by Perisic. And the Croatian is away and over the halfway line. Checks his run now, looking for support. Uses Ben Davis. And I think that was the wise decision there by Perisic. Didn't really have any options in front of him, so allow Tottenham to build steadily once again. Walking football at the moment in the Tottenham half. Dyer and Bentancur. Now it's a bit more direct. Into Kane. Kane skips away from his man. Wide to Perisic. Perisic has a better chance to pick out a man here. Can he get the crossing? He decides to come infield instead. Højbjerg. Now Bentancur into Son. Nicely played. Son skips away from his man and takes a shot, and over the bar it goes. Not a bad effort from Son Heung-min. 25 yards out. Curling effort with his right foot. Over the bar it goes though. To Alex Ferguson and 1985 snooker world champion Dennis Taylor in attendance this evening. They haven't seen a goal just yet, but they have seen plenty of action, and most of it being provided by the home side. Hugo Lloris plays the ball forward to Romero. Romero forward for Son, but it's cut out, and half a chance here. Maybe if Fernandes can get to this one first. He can't. Almost cut out there by the Portuguese, but it safely, for Tottenham point of view, safely gathered by Lloris. Around the Premier League at the moment, it's currently Bournemouth 0, Southampton 1, 0-0 between Brentford and Chelsea. Liverpool are beating West Ham by a goal to 0. Newcastle are beating Everton by a goal to 0 as well. All of those games in their second halves. We're still in the first 45 minutes here. We've got 11 minutes plus injury time still to go. And United are bringing the ball forward again through Dalot, and now Anthony on the right wing. Anthony against Perisic. Casemiro with the cross. Oh, and a half shout for handball there from United, but nothing doing there. And Tottenham able to clear the ball away, but it's just a bit of a... It is nothing more than a clearance. They just knock the ball into the United half where there's absolutely no Tottenham players attempting to gather it. The ball is back now with De Gea, who goes long. Headed forward by Eric Dyer. Tussle there between Diogo Dalot and Ivan Perisic. Dalot, who has made 24 appearances in the Premier League last season, so by no means a regular starter, but this is his 10th start out of 10 this season. He's become a real focal point of, a real regular, I should say, of Erik ten Hag's side, not so much of Solskjaer or Ralf Rangnick's. But United are into the area now. Rashford's gone down. He just stumbled as he turned. No foul there, according to the referee. Ipswich is still down, having words with Højbjerg. He was in the area there, and Højbjerg kind of came, and Rashford does have a half a shout there. Højbjerg did put his hand across him and did slightly drag him, but I don't think enough for a penalty. The United are back in possession. Casemiro leaves it for Fernandes. Fernandes links up with Rashford. Rashford out to... Oh, this is neat, and Fred's there. It was out to Sancho, and a couple of nice little neat balls into the area where Fred was waiting, but he couldn't get the shot away. But Sancho again, and into Fred. Fred with the shot blocked. Where's he going to fall? half cleared by Tottenham man. Now Martinez. United coming again, but finally seems to be dealt with by Spurs. Or is it? Bentancur is going nowhere with it fast. And a lucky deflection almost puts it through to Son's path. It's a real pinball at the moment. And finally, Diogo Dalot has the ball in a bit of space. Anthony under a bit of pressure. Oh, and he gets away from two men very well there. Anthony, this is a fantastic run. Now, oh, and then away from Bissouma as well. And he just tried to play the pass to Perisic. And Perisic kind of got in the way of it. Really nicely done. And now another shot. Oh, and Fred again. These United shots are coming in so fast, I don't have time to describe all of them. This is fantastic. It was Fred from about 25 yards with his right foot. And the ball was just kind of moving away from him as he struck it, so he couldn't really get a perfect contact on it. And it went a bit too high and wide. And out for a goal kick. Tottenham playing themselves into trouble again. United win possession back. It's Casemiro out wide, uses Sancho. Sancho out to Diogo Dalot. Is he going to have a shot? He does. It's blocked. Oh, and we have to stop play there because it's another one taken full in the face. This time it's Eric Dyer who took that one in the chops. Dalot with the right foot. Oh, and this one right on the nose. Right on the nose for Eric Dyer there. That's another painful one. I think that's even worse than the one that Luke Shaw took. Something about England international defenders getting hit in the face during this first half. Dyer is still down. I think he's a little dazed. The referee was right to stop the game. Any head injury or potential head injury has to be checked straight away. But anything that might be remotely serious. And there are two members of the Tottenham medical staff treating Dyer now. Bissouma and Son are just checking that he's okay, and well, they're grabbing themselves a drink as well. That might be their main reason for being there. A bit of hydration. And Eric Dyer is sitting up now. I think the physio is just checking his vision, just checking, maybe asking how many fingers he's holding up. That's how it was done in the old days. They're taking absolutely no risks at all here with Eric Dyer. It's normally a good sign for Tottenham if he gets his name on the score sheet. He's scored twice this season already. Once against Southampton on the opening day. It was in a 4-1 win. His other goal was against Leicester in a 6-2 win. So Eric Dyer gets his name on the score sheet. It's usually a big win for the North Londoners. He is back on his feet now, taking a drink. I think he's just being taken off for one or two more checks. And then he should be okay to return. There are 5 minutes of the 45 left, but mainly thanks to that stoppage, we will have at least 1, maybe 2 minutes of added time. Now we have resumed. Anthony from the right wing uses Dalot, and United switch it across. Tottenham with all their men behind the ball again. Luke Shaw trying to skip away from his marker, has to use a bit of support. Now Martinez forward to Shaw again. Links up with Fernandes. Uses Casemiro in space. Back to the Portuguese. And they spotted the run. Oh, and I thought they spotted the run of Dalot, who was coming up from the back in plenty of space, but decides to use Anthony instead. He plays it to Dalot. Out to Shaw. Shaw with a cross looking for Anthony, but it's too much on it. And for the second time today, Perisic is there just to chest the ball nicely back to Lloris. And Lloris He's had enough of the short ball and knocks a very long goal kick in the direction of Harry Kane, but he can't gather it. And United come forward again. Rashford in plenty of space, about 40 yards out, uses Fred on the right. Further out on the wing is Anthony. Anthony comes inside, uses Rashford, and now Fred again. Fernandes. Bentancur in front of him. Across to Anthony. Anthony shaping for a cross, but decides to use Casemiro. Oh, I'm not really sure what Fernandes was doing there. He tried a little dinked ball with the outside of his foot, but there was no United runner anywhere near it. And that's the easiest job that Hugo Lloris has had all evening. 3 minutes plus injury time still to go in the first half. Lloris again to Kane, to Son rather. He just about gathers and uses Kane. Now Bissouma, Bentancur, wide to Matt Doherty. Once again, Bentancur infield to the Dane Højbjerg. Davis now links up with Bentancur again, and now Eric Dyer, who has rejoined the action, finds Yves Bissouma. Oh, and Højbjerg left one for Perisic there, but it was never going to work out, and Dalot manages to deal with it. The ball goes forward, which Fernandes chases, but he can't reach that one, and out it goes for a Tottenham throw. Very, very animated Antonio Conte on the sidelines. Nothing new there. Seen that plenty of times over the years. For Chelsea, for Italy as well, and Juventus. About a year now in the Tottenham job since he replaced Nuno Espirito Santo. He's managed at Old Trafford 3 times in his career for those various clubs and has lost every game, so things do stay the same. This will technically be his best result as a manager here. But United are trying to make things worse for him. They're coming again through Fred. Oh, and a poor ball there, attempted by Casemiro. It's cut out by Son, and now Højbjerg. Bentancur sprinting forward through the middle. Wide is Doherty. He's in space. He's got Kane in support. Uses Kane. Kane with a shot from a wide angle, saved by De Gea. It's back to Kane. Now Bentancur. We've got a United player down in the area. It's crossed in by Bentancur, and Varane heads the ball back to De Gea, who gathers, and the whistle has gone, and the United players are furious because it's Lisandro Martinez who's down, or is it Dalot? I think it's Dalot actually. Yeah, Diogo Dalot is down, and the United players are incredibly frustrated because they said, well, the play was stopped for an injury to Eric Dyer. And Dalot took one, I don't know if it was in his chest or neck or if it actually hit him in the face. It was all sort of in that general area. And the United players are fuming because Dalot was down in the area and Kane was in possession inside the United penalty area. And the United players are wondering why things weren't stopped for them. 2 minutes have been signalled by the 4th official. But we're going to have a bit more than that because Dalot is still down and we're in no way ready to restart. So it will be 2 minutes from the point that play resumes. And the United medical staff are still treating Diogo Dalot. Up he gets and receives a handshake and a pat on the head from Harry Kane. Absolutely no malice intended by Kane. Dalot is running off. He's got to obviously go off for 1 or 2 checks, as Dyer did. But he will be absolutely okay to continue. United don't have any right-back options on the bench. They do have Tiro Malakia, who's a left-back. He could fill in there. I suppose Victor Lindelof could as well. But Ten Hag won't want to see His first choice right back, missing any minutes of this game. United have resumed, and Luke Shaw has the ball over the halfway line. He goes back to Martinez. Shaw again. It's left there by Sancho, looking for the run of it was Casemiro out there, I believe. But to no avail, it goes out for a Tottenham throw. Doherty on the halfway line, on the far side, in front of the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. Infield to Son, but a weak touch from him. Oh, and Sancho then couldn't play it into Rashford's path, but United have won it back. We've had 2 minutes of added time, but we will have more because of the Dalot injury. Probably about 1 more minute to be added on, but let's see what Simon Hooper allows. It's Perisic now. Could it be Tottenham who grabbed something just before half-time? Not like that, it goes out of play. Højbjerg couldn't gather, and Dalot, who has now resumed, will be taking this one. Tussling there between Casemiro and Son. Bit unorthodox from a throw-in like this. Dalot's throw is poor, cut out by the man, and now it's Son. Son into Kane. Oh, good tackle there by Lisandro Martinez. But Tottenham look to be having the last attack of the half, but they're going nowhere. And in fact, that is the half-time whistle. Simon Hooper blows, and it's still Manchester United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. And in many ways, it's fairly hard to believe that we still haven't had a goal yet in this game. Really entertaining first half. Most of the action in the Tottenham penalty area. United forcing Hugo Lloris into a few saves, peppering the goal from, especially from the edge of the box. Tottenham have been playing themselves into trouble a little bit. So far, it's still Manchester United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. You're listening to AI Football, and make sure you join me shortly for the second half. Welcome back, everybody. You're joining us here on AI Football for the second half of Manchester United against Tottenham Hotspur. It is 0-0 at the moment. Old Trafford. Plenty of chances for the home side, but they haven't managed to take any of them. And we are a couple of minutes away from the second half restarting. In fact, I can just see Tottenham players returning to the field. So, a reminder of the teams. David De Gea is in goal for Manchester United. Their back four is Diogo Dalot, Rafael Varane, Lisandro Martinez and Luke Shaw. Casemiro and Fred are the Brazilian defensive midfield partnership. Antony, Bruno Fernandes and Jadon Sancho are the three in attack, and the centre forward is Marcus Rashford. Substitutes for United: Cristiano Ronaldo, Victor Lindelof, Tiro Malacia, Tom Heaton, Facundo Pellistri, Anthony Elanga, Alejandro Garnacho, Christian Eriksen and Scott McTominay. For Tottenham: Hugo Lloris, Christian Romero, Eric Dyer, Ben Davis. Five across the middle: Matt Doherty, Rodrigo Bentancur, Yves Bissouma, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and Ivan Perisic. Son Heung-min and Harry Kane up front. And the subs for Spurs are Oliver Skipp, Davinson Sanchez, Brian Hill, Ryan Sessegnon, Fraser Forster, Jed Spence, Clement Lenglet, Japhet Tanganga and Lucas Moura. And those substitutes and the managers making their way along the touchline back to the dugouts. It's going to be United kicking off this half. They're going from right to left as I look at it, kicking towards the Stretford end. Referee Simon Hooper gives the ball to Fernandes, who places it on the spot. Hooper just checks that everything is ready. Quite a few empty seats at the moment, people getting back, but they've missed the start of the second half because United have kicked off. And in no hurry at all, they play the ball back to their goalkeeper De Gea. No half-time substitutions, so we are as we were. A couple of players receiving one or two knocks and bumps in the first half, but nothing too serious. So we are as we were. Rashford, of course, replacing Cristiano Ronaldo in the starting lineup, and while that's happened, Son Heung-min has won the ball back. He lays it off to Bissouma. First opportunity for Tottenham to build something in the second half. Højbjerg gets in a bit of a tangle, but finds Bissouma again. Bissouma to Bentancur. Bentancur already has to reach for that one. Finds Romero. And United put Spurs under enough pressure, and Spurs are forced all the way back, and Dyer just about kept possession. Needs to win it back again. Oh, that's a poor touch by him though. And Fernandes could be in. Antony now edge of the box across Jadon Sancho. Sancho in the area, lays it off for Fred. Fred side foots it and it's in! There's the opening goal in the second minute of the second half. And Fred scores his first goal of the season. And if anybody deserved to get their name on the score sheet tonight, it is the Brazilian defensive midfielder. He has been on fire this evening, I should say. Tottenham were too lackadaisical with possession. United won the ball back and suddenly they pounced. Oh, and it took a huge deflection, I think, off Ben Davis. Sancho in the area laid the ball off to Fred, who side-footed it, and yes, Davis, near to the penalty spot, just stuck out a leg and guided the ball past his helpless goalkeeper. And the worst possible start for Antonio Conte's men. It was unlucky. Davis putting his foot in, diverting the ball past the goalkeeper, unfortunate for Tottenham, but if anyone deserved a bit of luck in this game, you can't deny Fred should have got something. So I mentioned those people who are a bit late back to their seats. There's still plenty of empty seats. They've missed the goal. It's Manchester United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. We are back underway and Tottenham instantly back on the attack. Into the area they come. Cross comes in, headed away by Varane. Still danger. Casemiro. And now Fernandes, 20 yards from his own goal. And that time United did better and have cleared things. Sloppy in possession were Tottenham, and that gave Fernandes and Anthony a chance to really do something. And now it's Rashford in the area. Rashford, he's got a tight angle, takes a better one. Rashford saved well by Lloris. It could have been the second one there. Rashford did so well. He was forced out wide. But rather than take the shot from the awkward angle, he found some space and cut back inside. There's a good shot, and he's got another chance here. Rashford on the left-hand side this time, cutting inside. Is he going to take the shot? It's blocked. Where's it going to land? I think the referee stopped play, but offside. He got away from Dyer that first time, and as Lloris dived to his right, it was his left hand that he raised to bat the ball away. And from going in at half-time level, just 4 minutes into the second half, or 3 minutes at the time, it could have been 2-0 to United. Lloris really has kept them in this one. Bentancur making the run. It's fallen to Kane with the shot. Oh, powerful effort there by Kane. It went narrowly wide. Good effort from him. Shaw just knocked the ball back into the path of Son, who laid the ball off to the on-running Kane. He couldn't get enough bend on his 20-yard effort. In fact, I apologise again because it was deflected out of corner, which Son and Perisic are over. It's Tottenham's first corner of the game. Not quite 5 minutes into the first half. First corner for Tottenham. United had 6 in the first half. It's going to be Perisic with the in-swinger. In it comes now, into the 6-yard area, but headed clear. Son recycles back to Perisic. And the Korean again. Curls across in, but he's overhit it. And that's ended the threat. And out the ball goes for a goal kick. So, what could have so easily been 2-0 could have turned into Tottenham equaliser with that Kane effort that was deflected wide. And it was a deflection, as we're just seeing again on the replays, that has put United in front this evening. The unfortunate Ben Davies taking that one away from Lloris. Bissouma wins the header on the halfway line. The ball eventually falls to Son. Son goes back to Højbjerg. Uses Dyer. Romero. Now Doherty linking up with Højbjerg. Bentancur gets crowded out, but Doherty keeps the attack going for Spurs. Højbjerg. Oh, he was caught late there by Casemiro. It's going to be the first booking of the evening. Casemiro has his name taken. Højbjerg did well there. He just shifted the ball onto his left foot from his right at the last second, and that meant that Casemiro's attempted challenge was always going to look a bit late and mistimed. And he did catch the Danish international. And the first man into the book is a United man. Ball touch there has given Tottenham half a chance of building something here. They've moved the ball out wide to Matt Doherty on the right wing. Infield, Bentancur swings it to Son. It was Perisic in there, in fact. He can't get he can't keep the ball down. And another half chance for Tottenham goes astray. And we are 7 minutes into the second half. It's Manchester United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. A goal by Fred early in the second half, making the difference so far for Erik ten Hag's men. Full times around the Premier League. It's not been an evening of goals. 1-0 Southampton beat Bournemouth, 0-0 between Brentford and Chelsea. 1-0 Liverpool beating West Ham. And they're still playing between Newcastle and Everton. It's 1-0 to the home team there. So if there's one more goal in this game, it's going to be the highest scoring Premier League game of the evening, which isn't saying a lot. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. I say that having watched Fred's deflected effort go in, it wasn't high quality. Now let's see what United can do. Bissouma comes through the back of Fernandes. The referee decides that he's going to play the advantage there. United switch the play to Shaw on the left-hand side, and he tries to play 1-2 with Fred, but they get their wires crossed a little bit, and out it goes for Tottenham throw, which Doherty has taken. Finds Højbjerg well around the centre spot, and he tries to get an attack going with Kane and Son, but the ball just won't quite fall for them. And De Gea is able to drill one out to to Shaw in space. Martinez has given the ball back to his goalkeeper, who plays it to Dalot. Dalot goes forward looking for the run of Rashford, but it's cut out. But Tottenham have given it away again, and it's Anthony now. Anthony on the edge of the box. What can he do? Cuts inside again. Anthony with a shot that goes for the near post. This time he doesn't connect particularly well with it this time, and out it goes for a goal kick. He just kind of cut across that one a bit too much as he took the shot and dragged it wide. Anthony looking for his 4th Premier League goal of the season. He is United's top scorer on 3 at the moment. Now it's Sancho. Sancho into the area with one defender in front of him, but that defender, Romero, does his job very well, blocks it. Forward now by Romero, Bentancur to Kane. Now Kane can't get away from Casemiro. And it's United again. And just 1-2s there between Shaw and Fernandes, about 6 of them. And they decided that nobody really fancied that one, so they decided to come back to De Gea, and they will build again. De Gea to Rashford, Rashford to Fred. The ball balloons up into the air, and 2 Tottenham men underneath it. Neither of them could do anything, and suddenly Fernandes has space. Fernandes threads one through, and Rashford's gone down. And is it a penalty? No, it's a goal kick. The referee there seemed to be signalling for a penalty, just with the angle he was stood at. His arm outstretched, but no, he's given a goal kick. No foul there. And it was Rashford tussling with Dyer. And I think the referee's got that one absolutely spot on. No foul there. And despite Rashford's protestations. And the goal kick has already been taken. And Bissouma plays it out wide. Tottenham, they abandoned the playing it out from the back at the end of the first half. They've gone back to it now, and it's still not really working out. Rashford gets a foot in the way of one attempted clearance, and it goes out for a Tottenham throw, which they've thrown back to Lloris. And still they try to play it out, and Bentancur was almost under heaps of trouble there, but this one has worked out, and Højbjerg can bring it away with Davis. Davis uses Perisic. Back to Højbjerg. Bentancur infield. Forward looking for Kane, but Kane can't gather this one. And it rolls on harmlessly through to De Gea. So just over £17 million, Rodrigo Bentancur from Juventus back in January. He's been a welcome addition to this Tottenham side. A little bit of ricocheting and pinball in the Tottenham half, I should say, and it is United who come away with the ball again, but they've been forced back into their own half of the pitch. Diogo Dalot on the right wing with his head up. Decides to use Anthony. Anthony, as usual, from his customary standing start. Plays it to Bruno Fernandes. And United taking their time again with another attack. They've switched it to Shaw. And Shaw has been fouled. It was Bentancur this time. And put a bit of the commentator's curse on him. So it's going to be a free kick for United. There has been very few fouls in this game. I'm not sure the number of free kicks we've had, but the referee hasn't put his whistle to his mouth too often, which is usually good to see, but it's been a well-tempered game. Fernandes decides not to put the ball into the box and switches the free kick out to Dalot. Dalot 25 yards out on the right wing. Anthony and now Fred link up into Casemiro. Casemiro across. Back to Anthony. It's all the Brazilians at the moment for United. Fred again now. Crosses in. Rashford's there. Can't get on over it. And his header goes high up into the air and it's eventually dealt with by Doherty, who gets away from Sancho, and a sliding tackle comes in from Luke Shaw to put the ball out of play for a goal kick. A lovely in-swinging cross there by Fred. It was just behind Rashford, and he had to really reach for it with his neck muscles, but he was never going to be able to direct that one on target. He did well just to get any contact on it, really. And the chance was gone for United, but a good cross in by Fred. Tottenham relieve pressure, and nearly a good touch there by Perisic, but just ran away from him. He's got another chance here, leaves it for Bissouma. That's a poor touch here by Bissouma. And then he can't find a man. He's caught a United player in the process there. Referee has stopped play. Bissouma just tried to chest it. And the ball was running away from him as Fernandes was coming in. I think Bissouma just caught Fernandes on the foot. Fernandes is still down. So highly rated Yves Bissouma. He was fantastic for Brighton last season. Cost Tottenham £26.2 million, and we haven't really seen the best of him yet, and he hasn't exactly set this game alight either. This is just his third start. He's only played 90 minutes once, so I'm sure he will argue he hasn't really had enough of an opportunity to test himself. But he won't be winning too many friends among the Tottenham fans, I believe. Rashford is now up on his feet. We've had 1 hour played, and you're listening to AI Football. My name is Anthony Thomas. I hope you're enjoying this commentary so far. Hope you're enjoying our graphics on our YouTube channel during this game. Let us know your thoughts on the game in the comments section. Give us a like, subscribe to the channel. And who do you think is going to win this game? Give us a score prediction. What's going to happen in the last 29 plus minutes of this game? I thought I'm going to get back into it. Is it United for the taking? Let's find out, shall we? We are back underway. And the all-yellow kitted Hugo Lloris plays the ball out wide where Perisic was onto it. He uses Bentancur, who's come across. Uses Doherty, and Doherty's passed back into Bentancur. Doesn't work out. Now United win the ball back. And Fred has played it out to Anthony. Anthony taking on Ben Davies with his head up, looking for options. Anthony tries to go into Rashford, but Romero saw that one from a mile away and dealt with it. Romero now scrapping with Casemiro, and he's gone down. And ever since I said there weren't many fouls in this game, it's just been free kick after free kick. And Tottenham win one here in their own half. Romero heavily involved. Ball over the top looking for Kane, but he was never going to get that one. And De Gea comfortably gathers and rolls it out to Luke Shaw. Shaw and Bissouma. I really put the commentator's curse on this lack of fouls in this game because we just had another one. Luke Shaw uprooted this time by Yves Bissouma, and it's been taken short to Fred. Now Casemiro switches things across to Dalot. 1-2 with Anthony. Now Fernandes plays it back to Rafa Varane. Fernandes calling for calm, calling for options. On the ball again. Is Anthony now. Anthony in a little bit of a pocket of space opened up in front of him. Then he uses Casemiro, who decides to switch things, where Luke Shaw is now in possession on the left. Fred is getting involved, as is Jadon Sancho wider out. Sancho looking for a run. Can't find Rashford though. Decides to play it back to Fred. Comfortable possession for the Red Devils. Shaw, Sancho. Casemiro across. Dalot's got some chasing to do. He does so though. Dalot, Anthony, Fred, Anthony. Oh, that was up by Højbjerg, but he now runs down to blind Elliott. United's again with into the area. A few nice step overs. Dalot and his attempted shot is easily blocked by the first man, and it's going to be another corner to Manchester United. No sign of any substitutions taking place so far. United players, Martinez, Casemiro coming up from the back. But Anthony takes a short corner. Receives the 1-2. Fernandes is very deep. Anthony again on the far side, on the wing. Bissouma and Højbjerg in front of him. And United completely content to hold on to possession, make Tottenham chase them. I'm not sure if this follows the remit of Erik ten Hag asking them to kill teams off. They seem happy with a 1-goal lead, and De Gea's ball over the top was looking for Fred. And he almost gathered it, but not quite. And Tottenham deal with it, but they're again under a lot of pressure as they play out from the back. Perisic has now come across to this near side. And Casemiro commits a fairly light foul just inside the Tottenham half. And Perisic goes short with a free kick. Tottenham not turning up the intensity just yet. We've still got 25 minutes of the second half to go. Now we've seen already how quickly they can turn pressure in their own half to quite a decent attack, and this could be an opportunity, but it's another foul. Bentancur this time. And all of a sudden the referee can't stop blowing his whistle. Free kick taken. Luke Shaw and Sancho combining on the left. Bentancur is chasing everything. He's putting his South American rival, Sandro Martinez, under pressure. And now Rashford is chasing one, and Rashford's gotten to the end of this. Stumbles a little bit. Oh, and eventually runs out of room. And the chance is gone. Rashford showed a real explosion of pace there, but he couldn't gather the ball cleanly as he entered the penalty area. Stumbled a little bit, got the ball stuck under his feet, and the chance was gone. Tottenham hanging on at the moment, I think it's fair to say. But they're not out of this yet. Ball played back to De Gea, to Lloris, sorry, who knocks it long. And this time Kane does gather, and another foul. It's Varane this time who trips Kane up. And I'd be surprised if Varane's name isn't taken here. Kane just out-muscled Varane as the ball came down, and then just a little clip of the legs. But I think the referee has kept his card in his pocket. And Tottenham come again. Ben Davies. Now it's come infield to Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer on the halfway line. Not in any hurry. goes short. Højbjerg is there. He's got Davis out wide. He's got Perisic out wide as well. He uses Perisic. Perisic beats Dalot. Dalot now with a cross headed away. Who's it going to fall to? It's going to fall to Fernandes. Fernandes tries to get away from Bissouma. And no foul there. I thought the players stopped there for a second, but Tottenham are coming again. Perisic, can he cross? He does. Davis flicks it on. Kane is there. Kane, with all the time in the world, what a save that is. Close range shot from Harry Kane. In fact, the linesman was signalling for offside, so I don't think it would have counted, but De Gea didn't know that, and from just a couple of yards out, De Gea manages to get his body in the way of Kane's shot. Kane took it down nicely and struck the ball with his right, but now it's United coming forward, and Fred into the area, Fred, and now Fernandes! Bruno Fernandes has made it 2-0 to Manchester United with a lovely curling right-footed finish from the edge of the area. And just when Tottenham looked like they were trying to find a passage back into this game, United seemed to have sealed the 3 points at Old Trafford this evening. The attack came from wide. It was Anthony who played the ball in, looking for Fernandes. The ball bobbled up to Fred. He couldn't strike it cleanly. It hit Dyer on the knee and then fell perfectly into the path of Bruno Fernandes, who was waiting on the edge of the area. And first time on the half volley, curls the ball past the outstretched Hugo Lloris. And Bruno Fernandes, who has come under a lot of criticism this season for his lack of goal involvements, his minutes per goal, well, he's increasing and improving his stats now. That's his second goal of the season, his first one since the winning goal at Southampton. Good return there for Fernandes, who's wearing the captain's armband in the absence of the injured Harry Maguire. It's Manchester United 2, Tottenham 0. We've got just over 20 minutes to go here at Old Trafford. Tottenham need a response. They're trying to find one. In comes the cross. Oh, and De Gea was backtracking there and had to just tip that one behind for a corner. During the celebrations, I saw a replay of the Kane chance, and he and Doherty were both well offside. So good decision there by the referee. Let's see what Spurs can do with this corner. They've got plenty of men up there, plenty inside the 6-yard box. It's going to be Son this time with the outswinger. In it comes, headed clear. And Son just manages to keep it in play. They're very deep now, Tottenham. Doherty in field, where Højbjerg is waiting on the halfway line. Short to Bissouma. Bissouma with his head up. That's better from him. Through ball to Kane. Kane into the area. Out wide. Crosses. No one there, though, in a blue shirt. And United can clear. Tottenham have now increased the intensity, but you wonder where this was when they were only a goal down. There's just seeing another replay of the strike. Really clean finish. It was the ball was bobbling around everywhere. It looked quite scrappy, and then suddenly fell so neatly to Fernandes, who really tidied things up with that. A really nice strike. As things stand, United are 5th in the table. They'll be just a point behind Chelsea and 4 behind Tottenham. Tottenham, of course, are 3rd, level on points with Manchester City at the moment. They're not playing like a team in the Champions League positions so far, but they do traditionally struggle against United. They've lost more times to United than they have any other team in their history, and Fernandes is coming forward now, trying to make things worse for them. Anthony is now on the left wing. Comes infield to Fernandes. Cross to Sancho. who is on the right. They've swapped places. Another shot comes in from Fernandes, and it's dealt with this time by Lloris. He got everything behind it. It was a rather comfortable effort. With a very, very busy goalkeeper. As I was saying, 53 wins Tottenham have had against United all time, and this is going to be United's 96th if things stay this way. In the Premier League, United have beaten Tottenham 38 times. Tottenham haven't been beaten more often by any other side in their history, so unfortunately it's a familiar feeling for the Tottenham fans from their perspective. And Fred gets away very nicely, but from Romero there, and then he does the hard part. Lovely turn away from Romero, and then tries to pass infield, and it gets cut out. But Fred doing excellently there. He's won the ball back into Rashford. Rashford linking up with Fernandes. Rashford again. Can he finish? Oh, what a save. That's probably his best one of the evening. How did Lloris get down to that one? Rashford has no idea. Rashford cuts inside past Eric Dyer and rifles a right-footed effort. But it stings the glove of Hugo Lloris, who gets his hand behind it. Really, really strong hand there by the Frenchman, and he's turned it behind for yet another corner. And Erik ten Hag is having words with Scott McTominay, who seems to be coming on. But the header comes in, corner came in from Fernandes to the near post where Dalot was there. He met it with his head, but couldn't direct it. And out it goes for a goal kick. So Tottenham 2-0 down, but no signs of a substitution from them just yet, and it looks like it's going to be United making the first change, but not for the moment. And Tottenham are making rods for their own back now, playing the ball out of play, well inside their own half, inviting more pressure from Manchester United. United, though, play back. It's with De Gea, who knocks it long. Dalot forward, now Fernandes. Anthony in a tight spot, but gets away, plays the ball forward to Dalot, who gets well tackled by Ben Davies. We got 15 minutes of the 90 to play, and it looks like we will have that first substitution, and in fact it's Anthony who seems to be going off. So a bit more of a defensive setup for United for the rest of the game. Off goes Anthony, and he's been replaced by number 39, Scott McTominay. With one to deal with. Heads forward to Dyer. Dyer tries to tidy up, but he can't. Fernandes wins it back, and McTominay straight into the action on the right wing. Lays it off to Fernandes. Fernandes skips away from the would-be challenger. Now Dalot uses Fernandes again. Switches play to Luke Shaw. United really have been using the full width of the pitch in attack this evening. Shaw. Now Fred. Casemiro back to Fred. Fred on the left wing. Decides to use Shaw. Doesn't really fancy the cross, does Fred. Shaw being pressurised by Bentancur. Tottenham win it back, but only to put it out for a throw. Anthony still making his way around the pitch, receiving warm applause from the Old Trafford crowd. Fred across. Dalot, and now McTominay, who's taken up his more traditional central position. Forward touch there by Casemiro, almost lets Kane in. And Doherty now forced to turn it out of play. Antonio Conte is having words with his assistant. No clear intent for now to make a substitution. And the ball knocked back into the path of Hugo Lloris, and Tottenham have recycled again. Again, Tottenham are going to have to up the tempo a bit, but that was better. They forced it out wide to Davis. Davis forward. Perisic is there. Perisic looking up, crosses the ball. He's looking for Kane. He finds Kane. Kane knocks it down to Son's pass. Son, can he get the shot away? No, he can't. Well defended by Martinez. Excellent there. He didn't let Son get have a touch to get the ball out of his feet and set himself. And Son just ran out of time there. Another really solid display by the Argentinian. And we are going to have 2 changes. In fact, from Tottenham, they're finally going to be switching things around. Can't quite see who they're bringing on. I'll give you details of that as soon as I can. Nicely worked there by United, up to the Tottenham halfway line, but only as far as Eric Dyer. They've won the ball back again. Rashford trying to skip away from challenges. He can't, and he can get away from Bentancur, and now he's up against Dyer. Rashford, oh, that's almost a perfect through ball to try and find McTominay. Dalot tries to tidy up, but McTominay definitely isn't getting that one. Rashford there, skipped away from one man, and then it was through the eye of the needle stuff there, trying to go from cutting in on the right to Dalot, who was coming in on the who was coming on the right, and it was from the left-hand side there. But Tottenham defender just managed to poke out a leg and stop that one going through. Dalot would have had a clear run in on goal from there. Over the top now, Eric Dyer looking for Perisic. Headed away by Dalot. He's forced McTominay to tussle with Perisic. And Tottenham want to throw in the United half. Bissouma receives it. Now Eric Dyer. Just over 10 minutes still to be played. Manchester United 2, Tottenham 0. Fred and Fernandes with the goals over the top, looking for Son. De Gea gathers. Tottenham still waiting to make their first changes of the game. Luke Shaw is in possession now. Links up with... Oh, and suddenly United are in all sorts of space. I don't think the flag's come up. It's Fernandes. He's gone round and it's in. It's in. He's put it in. Is it 3-0? I don't think it is. I think the flag was up. I think I saw the linesman just put his flag up before he went out of shots. I couldn't believe that Fernandes was in so much space. In fact, he seemed to be only just offside. If he just held his run a fraction more there, he would have been in. But Tottenham playing an incredibly high line and not marking Fernandes at all. I don't know how so much space suddenly opened up there. But Tottenham just about get away with one there. Fernandes did so well to go round the keeper and put it into the empty net, but to no avail. And it's Yves Bissouma who has made way for Lucas Moura. And rather surprisingly from my take on it, Eric Dyer is coming off. And there's a like-for-like change there with Davinson Sanchez entering the fray. Now Ryan Sessegnon has also entered the pitch. I didn't see that one. It's for Matt Doherty. So Matt Doherty off as well. The camera didn't pick that one up. And Ryan Sessegnon on for him. So 3 changes, in fact, for Tottenham. And one of the new men, Lucas Moura, immediately into the action. Tries to play a low cross in towards Son, but it's cleared away. And United leaving Rashford to try and pick up some of the pieces. But he's been caught there and he's gone down. Tottenham play on. Perisic out wide, crosses it, looking for Sessegnon. But Luke Shaw beats him to the header. Shaw tries to keep the ball in play, but can't do so. It's going to be a throw-in to Tottenham in a good attacking place. The other substitute, Davinson Sanchez, he came right through the back of Rashford there. I think that's what they call letting the man know you're there. But gets away with that one. I'm not really too sure how. It looked like a clear foul to me, but I'm no referee, so again, what do I know? Tottenham with Sanchez and Romero linking up. Bentancur in the middle, back to goal. Perisic on the left. 7 minutes left of the 90 and Tottenham still biding their time. Can they find a route back into this game and set up a really exciting finish? They're not going to do it like that. They do manage to win a throw-in just inside the United half. In fact, they don't. There was no touch there. It's going to be a United throw to be taken by Diogo Dalot. Headed forward by Rafa Varane, out for another throw, this time for Tottenham in pretty much the same place where that United one was. Perisic forward. And Kane has come very deep to receive that one. Now Romero. Romero trying to rally the troops and try to get something going for Tottenham, but he's again got no options and has to use Lloris. Tottenham regroup. Lloris goes forward looking for Moura. He's done well to take that one down. He's under a lot of pressure from Luke Shaw, and a free kick has been won right in the centre of the park. Tottenham free kick. An awkward angle to cross. It's far too central, so Højbjerg over it goes short. Uses Bentancur. Højbjerg and Kane looking for the run of Moura, but Varane is there first to rifle that one clear. He kind of slices it a bit and it just goes off for a throw rather than a corner. And Lucas Moura is down now. He's got his hand over his right ear. He's being lifted up by Martinez, and it was Varane's hands that kind of caught him in the face, I think accidentally, as Varane sort of followed through on that clearance. Throw in taken by Sessegnon, headed away by Martinez, back to Sessegnon. Fred now with a foot-in clearance, but only as far as Sanchez. Romero again is being forced back, under pressure by Rashford. And Tottenham having a lot of possession now in these final minutes, but not doing anything with it. Let's see if that can change now with Harry Kane. Skips away from Luke Shaw, evades the tackle of Fred. Højbjerg wide, Bentancur with a cross, and headed away by, I think Martinez was back there. Now Højbjerg tries to get away from McTominay, but can't. Varane now brings the ball forward, and he's won a free kick. I just think, and we're going to have two more substitutes for United, and it's the former Tottenham man, Christian Eriksen, who's going to enter the fray, and also Anthony Elanga, who has come on in place of Jadon Sancho. So Sancho being replaced by Elanga, and it's Casemiro who is making way for Eriksen. Eriksen, as I mentioned earlier, missed the 0-0 draw with Newcastle. He's getting a few minutes this time as he returns from illness. So a significant moment for him back playing against Tottenham. And the youngster Elanga he's had limited pitch time, especially since the introduction of Anthony into the United team. But let's see if he can have an impact in the last 3 minutes plus stoppage time here. And now we can't seem to move for substitutions. There's going to be 2 more for Tottenham. Oliver Skip is getting ready, as is Jed Spence. But for now, United coming forward, and it is Ericsson, and he threads one through just behind Fernandez, but Fernandez gathers, edge of the area, wide on the right wing. Decides to use Dalot. Dalot with the step overs back in field to Ericsson, lays it off to Luke Shaw. Now Elanga with his first touches on the left, neatly into Fred. Fred tries to return it, but Sessegnon does well and plays the ball out. It's going to be a throw-in to United. Yes, we will have those substitutions now. And Oliver Skip is going to be replacing Rodrigo Bentancur, one of the brighter lights, I think, for Tottenham. And another one, in fact, Ivan Perisic, who's been involved in a lot of the positive work in attack, especially for Tottenham. He's being replaced by Jed Spence. Spence, who was on loan at Nottingham Forest last season and played a vital role in their promotion push. He's only, in fact, had 2 minutes of pitch time all season. He's going to only get a couple more here, but Nottingham Forest were, of all the people that Forest brought in this summer, I think the fans would have loved to have seen Spence being made permanent. It didn't happen. It's getting a few more minutes now for Antonio Conte's side. McTominay goes to Fred. Now Dalot back into Fred on halfway. Goes forward looking for the run of Elanga, and he's in, but Elanga can't gather it. If he'd taken that one in his stride, it was a difficult one to take down. Oh, and in the meantime, Cristiano Ronaldo is not hanging around for full time. He's made his way on his own down the tunnel. Not impressed that he's not involved tonight. Cristiano Ronaldo. He's gone off in what looks like a little bit of a strop there. Let's see how his teammates are going to do for the last few minutes without him. We've almost completed the 90. Dalot, Fred and Ericsson combining on the far side. Now Fernandez, a heavy touch from him, and Skip almost manages to win the possession back, but it falls to Fred. Now Luke Shaw. The 90 minutes are up. I haven't seen the fourth official's board. And there's going to be 4 minutes, a minimum of 4 minutes added on. So it looks like United are going to pick up another Premier League win. They're going to make it 6 out of 10. Only a second defeat in 11 Premier League outings for Tottenham. After their poor start to the season, United really are starting to recover. Just that one quite major blip in the Manchester derby against City. After those 2 defeats to start the campaign. Lucas Moura almost gets a foot in there, but Luke Shaw wins it back and just decides to play the simple pass out to Anthony Elanga. Elanga infield to Fred. Now Ericsson, and United comfortably in control of possession at the moment. I spoke too soon because Son wins it back. Now takes a 1-2 and has space to run into on the left wing. Can Tottenham get something out of this game? Skip combines with Son. Infield to Højbjerg. Across Jed Spence. Jed Spence now into the area, wide. Stays on his feet, but gets crowded out by Luke Shaw and Elanga as he tries to put the cross in. Now it's Fred coming away, but he gets caught by the fresher legs of Moura, who wins a throw-in for his side inside the United half. Skip in the middle now. Ben Davis, Sessegnon in the left wing position vacated by Perisic. Davinson Sanchez 45 yards out. The whole United team in front of him. Wide to Spence. We're into the third of the 4 minutes added on. Kane, who's been kept relatively quiet by the United backline. Lovely touch there by Eriksen, linking up with, and they must be offside there, Rashford. Yes. Another through ball, this time by Elanga. But Rashford had started his run early. I think he does deserve arguably deserves a goal for his efforts tonight, Marcus Rashford. But to be honest, he probably could have done better with a lot of efforts. He had one or two really good chances, and credit to Hugo Lloris with some fantastic saves this evening. He's really prevented this being a cricket score. Tottenham looking now for what will be surely just a consolation. We're into the last minute of the 4 signalled by the 4th official. Ben Davies, Højbjerg and Skip combining. Tottenham haven't given up hope, and now Lucas Moura has some space and he can't do anything with it. Luke Shaw does very well there. Fred, Elanga, but it's fallen now to Spence. Spence with his head up trying to find a man, but I can't find anyone other than Lucas Moura. Sanchez, Moura, through ball through to Kane, nicely timed by Moura. Kane again. Oh, but Martinez stands firm again. What a job Martinez has done on Kane there. Unfortunately, he did shepherd the ball out of play. Unfortunately for his perspective, out of play for a corner, which Spence is coming over. In fact, Son will take it. The 4 minutes are up. This will pretty much be the last action of the game. Can Spurs grab themselves consolation? Corner comes in from Son, near post, headed up and away. And that's it. The final whistle blows. And it's a relatively comfortable win in the end for Erik ten Hag and Manchester United. They've really mounted the pressure on the top 4 sides in front of them. United closing the gap on Tottenham, on leaders Arsenal and Manchester City who didn't play. Only Liverpool picked up 3 points over this midweek. It was a case of when the opening goal would come rather than if for much of the first half, and then in the second half we only had to wait just over a minute for the deadlock to be broken. It was Fred with a cruelly deflected effort that trickled past Hugo Lloris into the bottom corner, and then with 21 minutes of the game to go, Bruno Fernandes with a lovely first time effort curled past the French goalkeeper, who did have a great game in goal for Tottenham. He really kept the scores respectable. But it's United who take the 3 points at home this evening, and Tottenham going home back to London with nothing. Next up for United, tough fixture away at Stamford Bridge, whereas Tottenham have to recover at home against Newcastle United, who have been very hard to beat so far this season. That's for the weekend, but for now, finishes Manchester United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0. I've been Anthony Thomas, commentating for AI Football. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage this evening. Give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and join us again for another commentary very, very soon. Good night.